October the 3rd birds. There was a time when in October young boys were employed to frighten away rooks from fields of recently sown wheat. The whole of the crow family is ever present this month and are especially known for their flying acrobatics on windy days. Carrion crows are constantly seen soaring and diving around high-rise flats in London, and a little further out, rooks can be seen quietly feeding on stubble or recently turned ground till something causes them all to rise together. The huge clamour they make in the sky is one of this month's wildlife spectacles. Another pleasing sight is watching them fly back together to their rookery, where some seem to almost dance above it before settling down. If a bird of prey happens to pass, several rooks and possibly some jackdaws will almost certainly mob it. More centrally, crows and even parakeets do the same. Several different raptors, nearly always alone, are now passing over London on migration. Every year there are occasional sightings of a red kite, honey buzzard, marsh harrier, hobby, or even osprey, either at Rainham Marshes, Barnes Wetland Centre, or possibly Regent's Park. More rarely, a goshawk or a Montagu's harrier is also spotted. The birds of prey much more likely to be seen this month are either a passing merlin, buzzard, or peregrine falcon. This is also the month when short-eared owls, which probably nested in Scandinavia, arrive here for the winter. A few of these stragglers visit places such as Rainham Marshes and the more remote areas of rough grassland along the sides of the estuary. The best time to look for them is the early evening on days when there is a full moon. Besides raptors, there is a whole host of other migrants flying over the city. Blackbirds and goldcrests arrive in small, discreet parties, whereas starlings and wood pigeons can arrive in thousands. Immigrant flocks of finches are among the most attractive. Linnets should also be looked for. They are still with their rose-coloured chests, and any goldfinches around are attracted to thistles and teasels in places such as Wanstead Flats. In the region of 30 different birds inhabit London's gardens, and October is a good month to examine all of them more closely. Many of the robins, blackbirds, or thrushes may not be residents, but recently arrived migrants from other parts of Europe. Some of them look slightly different, and all of them are usually more shy than our resident birds. Other habitats, such as reed beds and tidal mudflats, often seem almost devoid of birds, except for a few mallards, coots, and gulls. Other birds are still hiding and may possibly still be flightless, as they're still molting. With patience, small parties of recently arrived shovelers, teal and tufted ducks may well be seen. In woods, mixed flocks of tits are often heard, yet not immediately seen. Most vocal among them is the great tit, resplendent after his moult with his black crown, white cheeks, blue, olive and white wings, and sulphur yellow chest. Any blue tits are now equally eye-catching, with their cobalt blue caps and lemon waistcoats. Any coal tits in the flock are less noticeable, being just black and white, except for their juveniles, which have yellow cheeks and napes. Peaked long-tailed tits may also be present, with their long black tails edged in white piping. Marsh tits and willow tits, as already mentioned, are rarer and less human-friendly, and so are seen far, far more rarely. Nestling now is all but over, except for perhaps for wood pigeons, which may still be feeding their young. Sparrows are notorious for encouraging any lingering house martins to leave their nests so that they can move in. Other birds, such as robins and blackbirds, have already started marking out their winter territories. Robins may have already driven away their females and will now not allow them back in their territory for the next 3 or possibly 4 months. The robin that is left is still our most reliable singer, pausing only to stop and look at us with a questioning look, its head leant to one side and its beady eye looking straight at us. Often the birds we notice in October are feeding on the autumn harvest all around us. Many showed marked preferences for particular fruits and seeds which are now available. Wood pigeons are notorious for eating so many acorns their crops become almost solid. They are also often seen in cherry trees, silently and systematically devouring the cherries. Jays like acorns, their Latin name Garrulus glandarius, even translating as the noisy bird that eats acorns. It is thought black-headed gulls also eat acorns, so they decide to scavenge on rubbish left by humans instead. Finches and tits prefer seeds and seem especially fond of thistles. ragworts, teasels, and gnatworts in the wild, and sunflowers in our gardens. Linnets seem to prefer crucifers, such as charlotte and shepherd's purse. More garish-looking fruits, such as brimy, guelder rose, and bittersweet, seem so far to be left alone this month in favour of rosehips and hawthorn berries. Thrushes and blackbirds can often be seen fighting over rowan berries. The fussiest eater is probably the bullfinch, with its well-known preference for young, fresh ash keys. He and his ever-present wife are even tempted into gardens and parks at this time of year to find them. Being notoriously shy, it is usually only 2 white rumps we see disappearing from the ash tree. If the ash tree keys are not common, they are said to be equally fussy about clematis seeds, as well as privet berries. Harder hazelnuts and marble gauze even attract chaffinches, tits, and any recently arrived bramblings, which tap away at them to extract their contents. If any fragments of birch catkin are found under trees with seeds split open, it is worth keeping an eye out for red paws or siskins, which are greatly attracted to them.